And these are our favorite condiments for barbecue season, at least this season. So I'm going to show you how to make them. I mean, you know the culprits. We are going to make guacamole. We're going to make Pico de Gallo. We're going to make a Salsa Verde. But we have some small twists to them that we have adapted, that we like it better. So we thought we would share that with you so you can try them out our way. First up, for the Salsa Verde, we need to roast some onions. I have some white onion, which is just chunked up roughly here. I'm just going to give a little bit of oil to a foil pan, throw them in here, and then I'm going to yank them in the oven under the broiler until they get charred. And since we are making both guacamole and Pico de Gallo, we are going to need finely chopped tomato and finely chopped onion in both of them. So let's get started on that. For the onion, and that's where there is a little bit of a twist here, I'm actually not going in traditionally with white onion. I'm going to go in with shallots because they have a very different flavor profile, and I think it matches very nicely with those. So we are going to start chopping that up, and it's fairly simple. Just get in with your knife as fine as you can. And since I'm going to chop up a whole bunch of this, I don't think I'm going to bore you with that. So I'll see you when I'm finished with the bowl here. Onions done, and then we continue with our tomatoes. And here, what's important is what type of tomato are we using. You want to use Roma tomatoes or pomodori or what you want to call them because they're less watery. You don't want to have a watery guacamole or a too watery Pico de Gallo. So we cut them in half, and then we take out the stem here at the end because that's woody and not very nice to eat. And then we do basically what we did with the onions. We are going to make them into small cubes. So slice them into thin slices. Fairly simple. I don't think you're in doubt how to do that. Then we chop them in to small chunks, not as small as the onion, but pretty small anyway. And I'm going to work my way through that whole pile of tomatoes. So now everything is almost ready, chopped up. And now we're going to start with the guacamole. So let's take one of the avocados here. Feel it? Feels good. It's always a bit of a, you never know if they're good inside, but this feels nice and soft. So, and I have to be careful because last time I made guacamole, I cut myself. Ooh, that was a big stone here. Okay, but it looks good and it's sort of soft, definitely soft enough. So let's get all this out. And as you can see, again, we are cooking for an army, so I'll have a bit of avocados to cut here before we can start mixing. There we go. Soft parts out. It's going to be nice. And we continue with one more. All in, we just smashed it up nicely with a fork here, as you see. You go as far as you want. I like it a little bit chunky. I don't want it too smooth, so I think this does it for me. So gone with that. Then we're going to take some of our chopped tomato. I like it with extra tomato.
Me too.
It's nice. So we leave that there. We do the same with the onion. Some of our chopped shallot. Give it 2 tablespoons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No.
that matches nicely. And then some finely chopped cilantro. I mean, if you don't like cilantro, I suppose you could use parsley, but that would be a pity.
It's not the same.
No, it's just because I know some people, they don't like cilantro. That's why I'm saying it.
Okay.
How much do you
That's
say?
weird.
2? I would say 3.
3. We like it aromatic and fresh.
It's good.
Yep.
And then, traditionally, you would go in with some finely chopped green jalapeno or even red jalapeno. But we figured out by coincidence, because we didn't have fresh jalapeno, we only had pickled jalapeno in a jar. That actually makes a super flavor with that pickled, that little vinegar kick in the back. So we are going to use some chopped pickled jalapenos instead. It works excellently in guacamole. And then we simply just mix all this up and you have a nice, chunky, fresh. I'm missing one ingredient, obviously, but I want to mix this before I put it in. Not to think that I forgot it, because I didn't. So now we have a nice, even mixture here. Only thing we are missing now is lime and salt and maybe one more thing. What do you say, 2 limes?
For sure.
We go in with 2 limes and then we taste test.
It's a lot of, it's a big quantity.
True. Start with 2 and then we taste. And then, as I said, a pinch of salt, and with this size, 2 pinches. But I'm also going to add a bit of chipotle powder, like we did last time, remember? That was good.
That was really nice.
Yeah. So I'm saying for this one, a full teaspoon.
I think so, yeah. That's fine.
Not more. I don't want it either to become way too spicy, because then I know my family, they don't like me. And I like my family to like me. Basically, it boils down to happy wife, happy life.
Always.
And that's about it. A very nice guacamole, but needs a taste test. So let me get a teaspoon here. That's perfect. Has a little bit of a kick. It's not too spicy, super fresh, and it doesn't need more lime. This is perfect. The only thing here is, and that's the trick, we're going to smooth it out here on the surface, and then we're going to put some cling film all the way down against the surface, because then it doesn't brown for the party we're going to have tomorrow. This goes in the fridge with cling film, and then we move on with our Pico de Gallo. For that, we obviously need our tomato, which goes into a big bowl here, because we're making a lot. One of our signature things is to make a lot.
Yeah, but because we love it so much.
Yeah, but this is super. I mean, we also use it just on a piece of toasted bread,
That's
like
what I was
bruschetta.
thinking now,
It's perfect. I love that. I love that. Anyway, Pico de Gallo, fairly simple. Chopped tomato and our chopped shallots, which traditionally again would be white onion, but I would say this needs a little bit more onion than guacamole, so four spoons.
Yeah.
4 spoons of that. And then we go in with cilantro, chopped cilantro. How much do we need here? Definitely 2 big ones.
3 even.
I would
That's
say
what
3.
gives the aroma and the flavor here.
True, I agree.
Yep.
And then we're using the same pickled jalapeños, because in my opinion, that works really well. I'm sure, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, take your green jalapeños, even red Holland peppers, whatever. It looks better with green in this though. And we're gonna give that a couple of spoons of this. And then I'm thinking lime, I would say 3. We start with 3. Maybe we will do 4, but we will taste it, but start out with 3. And then we give it a couple of pinches of salt. Nice, that looks really good. And let's mix that up, and then we give it a taste to see if we're missing anything. I think actually we're gonna miss some onion here. I love Pico de Gallo. It's, I mean, this guacamole and even the salsa verde we're gonna make, you don't even need to cook anything on the barbecue. You can just serve it with a drink with friends and then have some tortilla chips, and just perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Some nachos, some.
Yeah, exactly. Nachos, whatever. And just sit there, enjoy a mojito, and
Or a cold virizza. Oh.
Corona. Anyway, let me give this a taste. Down, we'll get some of the good stuff here. Definitely needs more lime, and it needs a spoon more onion, but it's good. So, a little bit more onion. Actually, I'm going to hit it with a little bit more cilantro.
Yeah.
You can't really have too much of that. And then I would say, take 1 more lime, and we give it a mix and see. That's also why there are no recipe here. You mix until
You like it.
it tastes exactly like you want it to taste. That's the trick here. So, give it a stir in. But for Pico de Gallo also, I would advise make it at least some hours in advance so that it have time. Dump it in the fridge and leave it to for the flavors. They can really combine. That looks much better to me. Beautiful. New taster. That's perfect. Perfect balance of cilantro, lime, tomato, onion. This is just fantastic. So that goes with a lid into the fridge, and then we continue with our Salsa Verde. And Salsa Verde is real simple. Unfortunately, it's impossible to get fresh tomatillos where we live, so I have to go with canned. Obviously, if you can get them fresh, get them fresh, take them out of the husk, wash them, and roast them together with the onion, and then it's going to be better than this. But this is the best we can do, and if you're living in an area like us, buy them, canned, it will work. So into a blender, go with the tomatillos. I don't want all the liquid, I just want the tomatillos themselves, so I'm using a spoon, because once you take them out of the can, they leak a lot of liquid. So just a small trick, because I've done this before. My first rodeo. There we are, in with that. And then remember our roasted onion, took them out of the oven when they started charring a little bit. I don't want them too much, but a little bit charred. And then I just let them cool down. So they're
But
ready.
you waited for that to cool a bit.
Yes.
Not
yes.
warm.
Then we're going to put some lime juice. Lime is one of our favorite ingredients this season. I don't know, I love it. So. Maybe it's the mojito influence.
No, but it's ecological. Lime smells like summer, you know?
No, it does. It does
It
actually.
does.
I
It
agree.
gives that feeling.
There we go. And well, we're going to hit it with some of our jalapeños. Again, we are using the pickled ones because we like it. And then we're going to go in with cilantro. And I have here a bunch of cilantro. I don't need to take the chopped one. I'll just take, I would say, half of this and just dump it in there. Don't worry so much about the thin stalks. That doesn't matter as long as you don't take the thick ones down here from the end. But the thin ones, that's all good. Then we're going to give it a nice pinch of salt. And we close it up and we give it a good long blitz. That looks just about right. So
We want it chunky again, huh?
Yeah, I don't want to go too far. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to have a little bit and then a little bit of texture. Otherwise, it becomes too. And it is perfect consistency, this, but let me taste it. You can spoon eat this. I mean, it's so good. We're gonna put this in a bowl, then we're gonna put it in the fridge so it cools down totally, and then we're gonna do the taste test of all our 3 favorite condiments. And as I said earlier, you don't even need to cook up steaks or anything. Just a little bit of nachos, and then you're ready to taste. And you can serve this. You know, the only thing I'm missing here is a mojito. Actually, I'm missing a mojito.
Or a cold beer.
Yeah, or a Corona.
Yes.
But anyway, let me start with the guac. With a nice nacho, guac, a little bit of extra cilantro on top. I'm telling you, if you want to make it with fresh jalapeños, do it. But you should try this. That little hint of vinegar in the background, it makes it perfect. So nice. But we also have Pico de Gallo. We have a lot of things here. It's nice. I love that. It's so fresh. Even though it's all with cilantro and the same kind of ingredients, but the tomato, the onion, it's perfect. I mean, this make bruschetta, you're gonna love it. It's perfect. Salsa Verde, which, well, you just tasted it.
Yeah, it was great.
It's great. This is so easy to make, and it's so versatile. You can serve this with steak, with tacos al pastor, with tacos in general, with anything.
Grilled bread.
Grilled
in
bread.
the sandwiches.
Or, as I said, mojito, chips, then you're
There
perfect
you
to go.
have it.
Favorite condiments of this season? Let's see what happens next year.